Rick Morris, guy from Mill Village, Alabama.
Yes, sir.
Been very successful in life, in business, and worked hard at it. Over 32% of the vote tonight. And Rick, thanks for dropping by tonight.
Hey, thanks for having me.
What did you learn? This is the first time you've run for political office.
I tell you what, Jimmy Dale, it's been an experience, and it's been a good experience, and I congratulated the mayor and talked to him before he went on, and he's done a great job. And when I come on your show, I told you I had nothing against anybody. That all the incumbents and all the people that's running. I mean, I think it's great that we had that many turned out. I gave it my best shot, and it didn't work out. And hey.
You have been very successful in business, grew up in Mill Village, graduated Sylacauga High School.
Yes, sir. Graduated in 1974, and I think part of the problem that I didn't do better than what I did was, I left here and I went away for 45 years. And a lot of people didn't know me. And I come back a few years ago, and a lot of people didn't know who I was. And, taking care of my mom and not doing a whole lot. My wife and I didn't get out a whole lot, and we got a place down at Lake Martin, and we go down there quite a bit, and so I think a lot of people didn't really remember me. So, and
I think too, from conversations that I have gathered and information I've gathered, the lake home was a bump in the road for some people.
Yeah, there was a lot of people that questioned me about where I actually lived, and when I moved back to Alabama, I established my residence here in Sylacauga, and I do have a lake home, and heck, I even fortunate enough to have a little small place in Auburn, a game day home, and I was questioned about that. So I don't hide that. I never did, and I was transparent about it with everybody. When I signed up down to the mayor's office with Tricia Carton, I sat in her office and told her exactly what the deal was. And she said, as far as I'm concerned, you qualify. I mean, I established my residence here 7-8 years ago. And but I do spend the time at Lake Martin. I mean, Lake Martin, Sylacauga. I mean, I love the lake. I love to fish, and semi-retired, and we spent a lot of time down there.
I'm bringing 32% of the vote in Sylacauga for a man that had been away for a long time. That's not bad.
It's not bad. Rick, I would like to commend you on the campaign you ran. Never heard you say anything derogatory about any of your opponents. It was a positive campaign, and I personally, I'm getting on up in years. I don't know how many more of these campaigns I'm going to see, but I said, I hope I see you again someplace, because it was a pleasure to see somebody just run on facts. And I know there was some, like you said, bumps in the road down through there, but you never let them slow you down. And I admire you for your professionalism, and
I appreciate you saying that, and it's just not my style to cut people down and act that way. My mama told me, if you can't say anything good about anybody, don't say anything at all. And I personally think these the mayor and all the people on the city council has done a good job. I mean, everybody's not going to like you. But that's just the way the world is. But I tried to run a good, clean campaign, and I never, like you said, I never said one word bad about anybody. And it's just not my style to do that.
Politically, what's in your future? Anything?
Probably nothing. I'm 65 years old, and I'm semi-retired. I still own a little small business that my daughter runs, and I don't do a whole lot. And like I said, the reason I ran, I was getting a little bored, and I thought I could help Sylacauga, and it didn't work out. And hey,
I think you helped Sylacauga by your campaign.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And I told the mayor a while ago that anything that I could do to help him, I'd be glad to. And I congratulated him. And it's funny. His brother Harry and Susan go to church with me, and we serve on the board at St. Jude, and they're some of the finest people you'd ever want to meet, and they're good friends of ours. Wow. And Harry and I kind of kidded today about it, and Susan, I asked him, Harry, who he's going to vote for. So we had a good time with it. And hey, I think I told Jim and Dale I went into this thing with I wanted to win, and I think I could have done some things for Sylacauga, but it didn't work out. So hey,
you can still do that.
Yeah, I can still do that. Yeah, I told Jim that I'd be glad to help him out.
What do you see some of the needs for Sylacauga to be in the next 4 years?
Well, and I've said it all along. I think we need more industry here, and we need more tax dollars, and that would. If I'd have been elected, that'd been the first thing I would have done is went to Montgomery and sat down with the governor. And I got a little in there, I know I could have got in to talk to her, and I would have. And I may, if Jill wants me to do that for the city, I'll be happy to go down and talk with her. I tell you, my son-in-law is from Camden, and Kay Ivy's from Camden, and his grandparents are best friends with the governor. So I got an in there. So I knew I could get in to see her. I'd already kind of planted that seed. But Sylacauga just needs more industry to come in here, and more tax dollars and grow. And this swimming pool thing, what the mayor said about we need to fix up the one we got, in my opinion, and because I'm not about spending a whole lot of money. And this new complex is down the road, and I think it's going to cost $15 million, and money we don't have, and you have to borrow it. So I think, in my opinion, as a citizen of Sylacauga, I think we need to fix up the one we got, and then later on down the road, talk about the new civic center. That's just my opinion.
Rick, you've got a place in politics, because I had about 5 more questions I was going to ask you.
Yes, sir.
You answered every one of them in that statement there. But
well,
how do you get the tax revenue up? I know you get more sales taxes, you get more business, but how do you convince people? I think you've worked with the industrial side a lot in your business and everything, and I understand you are a really, really good salesman in your company. But the thing we need is we need the industry in here for the money to spend with the businesses, but yet we need different types of businesses here to keep the tax dollars in Sylacauga.
Absolutely, you're 100% correct on that. You are, and you bring industry in, they hire employees, pay them a good wage, they spend money here, and that brings tax dollars here. So,
how do you keep your children in Sylacauga from leaving? You got a solution to that if you do?
Well, it's more things to do. There's just not a whole lot. Jimmy Dale and I talked about this when I grew up here, and we had 2 swimming pools, we had a skating rink, we had a movie theater. Sylacauga has none of that, and there's just not. When the kids graduate from high school, they go off to college, and it seems like they leave. And I did the same thing. I mean, I left. When I graduated high school, I left and found a job, and I just think if we had more industry here, more things for, and people want to live where their kids have something to do. No. And I lived in a community in Atlanta, and I raised my daughter in Atlanta, and we had a swimming pool, we had tennis courts, we had a golf course, we had everything. Now, I know Sylacauga, I'm not trying to, say all that, but kids, parents want to raise their kids in a community that has something for their kids to do, and Sylacauga just don't have a whole lot. So,
Rick, I won't ask you the question now, but I think by you listing those things we had when you were here, you can go back when I grew up here, there was even more. I think the challenge that the future politicians have is why they aren't here today.
You know what? That's a great question. That is a great question, and I've asked myself that question, and I don't know why. I mean, we could name 100 reasons why, but I think
I don't think anybody's ever sat down and had a study group to really sit down and have a group.
That's something that probably needs to be talked about. You know, put a committee together and say, hey, why don't we have all this? Why did it leave? Why did it go? So
Rick Marsh with 32%, a little over 32% of the vote. And Rick, always a pleasure. Thanks for coming by
well,
tonight.
Jimmy Dale, I've been on this show now 3 times, and you've always been professional. You're a good guy, and you're an old Mill Village guy. So
That's right.
So
That's right.
Hey,
keep smiling. Keep up the good
smiling.
work.
Hey, I'm happy for Jim. I mean, I have no problem. I'm happy for all the